All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Spike Kool-Aid for, October 24th, 2022. We got a lot to talk about today. It's going to be a long week. It's going to be a lot of talk that will be a lot of stuff. Should Dan Campbell be fired? Is Jared Goff the answer? Should we take a quarterback? Let's get this thing started. All right. So we got to talk about something. All right. Shout out to the 3 people in the chat. I appreciate y'all. All right. So we got to talk about something. And that is that we give up on the season way too easy. I have been talking about this team on YouTube since 2017. You can go look it up on my other channel, The Gridiron Blitz. The video is called The Pain of Being a Detroit Lions Fan. That video is what sparked interest in me talking about the Detroit Lions. Now, it was a different time back then. It was not probably no one talking Detroit Lions, maybe a few people, maybe the DVE people talking about the Detroit Lions, but it wasn't a lot. And I made that video when we lost to the Cincinnati Bengals and officially got eliminated from playoff contention. What wound up being Jim Caldwell's last year. All right? We have to do better. I understand that we check out. But for me, man, I can't do it anymore. I cannot check out. This season in the NFL is full of parody. It's like a Benny Hill, cue the Benny Hill theme music. What's going on, Dave, Mr. Poole, and Billy? Cue the theme music. The Detroit Lions are 1-5, and it sucks. It does suck. But you know what else happened in 2017, I believe it was? Maybe 2016. All right? The Detroit Lions started the season 1-7. This is back during a 16-game season. They started the season 1-7. You know what they did? They wind up winning. They went 6-2 out of their last 8 games for a record of 7-9. Can the Detroit Lions do that? They can. They don't got a lot of wiggle room. Will they do it? Probably not. But the fact that they can do it, that is still potential. We got the Miami Dolphins, the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears. The Green Bay Packers are a beatable franchise. Aaron Rodgers is not Ivan Drago anymore. He is a machine. He's a man. He's not a machine. Aaron Rodgers is beatable. He looked terrible yesterday. 3 games in a row. Now, obviously, we have to win games. If we don't win games, nothing matters. And I'm sick of saying the same every week. It's a broken record. We got to win games. We got to win games. We got to win games. But I can't check out this early. We're talking about, Bryce, how can we expect our team to do better if we are already talking about the draft? We're going to talk about Jared Goff. We're going to talk about those guys. But if I'm a Detroit Lions player and I'm saying to myself, you know what? I'm trying my best. I'm going out there. I'm taking the hits. I'm doing what I can. And we're already talking about Bryce Young. We've already moved past this season. We don't know what it feels like to win games. We don't know what it feels like to have a winning season because we're so used to checking out in week 4. There's a joke that say we're talking about the draft in week 4. The Detroit Lions season is over by week 4. And that thing is proven very true today. All right? However, the season is not over yet. But the only reason it's not over yet is because the parity in the National Football League. Do you know that the LA Rams, last time I checked, are the 7th seed in the NFC at 3 wins and 3 losses? The Green Bay Packers, as of last night, were on the outside looking in. Matt LaFleur has matched his loss total for last year with 10 games left. And trust me, the Green Bay Packers got way more in them. They might be a top 10 pick this year. Aaron Rodgers, usually he tells people to relax. Notice he's not saying that. I actually did say, I take that back. I saw something yesterday saying that he said maybe it's good for us. All right. So we have to stay in the season. Stay in the season as much as possible because we got enough time to talk about the offseason. Mr. Poole says, no, I'm not ready to talk draft. Still 11 games left to play. Whether we go on 11 or 2-9 or whatever the case may be, there still is a hefty chunk of season left. Billy says, I haven't checked out, but I've been waiting to draft a QB since 2016, and believe me, and I believe it's time. Okay. First of all, I appreciate y'all commenting, man, especially on the topic at hand, because that helps the flow show. Helps the show flow. I'm out of it today, bro. As Detroit Lions fans, we have to want better, right? And I just refuse. You can't escape it. Everybody's talking about Bryce Young. Everybody's talking about C.J. Stroud. And I'm like, we got to finish the season first. We got 11 whole games to play. And if we don't pick in the top 10 or the top 5, both those guys might be off the limits. Because don't get it twisted, Carolina might pull a Arizona Cardinals and treat Matt Corral like Josh Rosen. If not, they'll have 2 very decent quarterbacks, obviously a decent quarterback as a backup. And P.J. Walker, who won a game yesterday. That's crazy, right? P.J. Walker wins a game, beats Tampa Bay. We got to stay in the season, y'all. Life is too short. The season is too short to be worried about the NFL draft right now. Now, this is crazy because I wanted to talk about this. We're talking about Jared Goff. I don't understand, y'all. I just don't, man. You know that nobody complained, or if they did, I'm sure people complained about Matthew Stafford. But where was this at for Matthew Stafford? Both of these guys were first overall picks. Is Matthew Stafford a better quarterback? You can say yes. But what I don't understand is being on Twitter and with social media and the way things are involved has evolved since Matthew Stafford was drafted. The difference in Lions fandom, it's just, was it always like this? Okay, or is this new? All right. Jared Goff, up until 2 games ago, was MVP caliber. He had 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, was it? Something like that. He goes 2 games, no touchdowns. Now he has 11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He has 2 lost fumbles. All right. Jared Goff fumbles the ball is what he does. He had almost double-digit fumbles last year. But what I don't get is why do we are ready to throw this man out? If I'm Jared Goff, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. You don't want me here? You know what? I'm out of here. What makes you think that Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud is going to come in here and save the day? Coming from Pride of Detroit, the Lions are on the clock for their future quarterback, for their quarterback of the future. This is from just an hour ago. I saw something else. Jared Goff, this is the tagline to the article. Jared Goff is starting to prove again that he's not the team's franchise quarterback. Why does Jared Goff have to prove anything? Meaning, he is the quarterback of the team. Jared Goff is the same quarterback he's always been. The same way Matthew Stafford is the same quarterback he's always been. Now, I just think that people have a disdain for Jared Goff. I'm not saying that he's perfect. I'm not saying that he doesn't play, that he can't up his play. All right? Here's what I'm saying. Nobody's talking about Matthew Stafford like they talk about Jared Goff. Matthew Stafford, the baby face, was loved from day one, right? Loved from day one. Do you know that on the regular season, right now, Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff, let me see. Matthew Stafford has 8 interceptions and 6 touchdowns in his games. Okay? The only game that he did not throw a pick is the Arizona Cardinal game. JP says, Grid, I think it's time. If we let Goff go, it's only $5 million on the books. We get a rookie QB contract benefit. We also have another first and high second. We have money for free agents too. That's in 2023, $5 million. Okay, I hear you. And at this point, I'm like, Lions fans, do what you want. Have the team do what you want. But let's do this comparison real quick. Matthew Stafford, 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He got first game, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Second game, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Third game, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Fourth game, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Fifth game, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Sixth game, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford has had double-digit interceptions his entire career, pretty much. Last year, he had 17, and nobody is talking about Matthew Stafford the way they're talking about Jared Goff. Now, he has a Super Bowl ring. I get it. But I swear to you, his entire time in a Detroit uniform, he has never been under the heat that Jared Goff is under. Am I saying that Jared Goff needs to be better? I'm saying he does. And when Jared Goff crumbles, he crumbles. He really does. If it rains, it pours. But I just don't understand. If Matthew Stafford could not fix this team, why do you think that Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud will? That is my point. Whether Jared Goff is the quarterback of the future or not, I'm not understanding. Matthew Stafford, he's not mobile, right? So that's the difference between C.J. Stroud. That's the difference between Bryce Young. Bryce Young is like 5'9". It's going to be Kyler Murray all over again. So what I don't understand is Jared Goff is playing well. We talk about teams being bipolar. Jared Goff is playing well. He's MVP. Jared Goff, this and that. He starts, yes, one really, really bad game. And I swear he needs to get better looking at multiple people. That's one thing. It does appear he just will not look off people. He will not go through his reads. And maybe that's the knock that everybody has on him. But for me, I just don't understand this fascination with Jared Goff with this new quarterback coming in to save the day. What I think is that people think that a new quarterback, a fresh, new, shiny toy, is going to make the difference. They want to see that. Nobody was upset but me at Jameson Williams at the pick. All right? So let me know. Why is it that we're done with Jared Goff? When at this point in the season, even with the fumbles, he's playing better than Matthew Stafford. If Dan Campbell coaches a better game, maybe we're 3 wins and 3 losses at this point. Billy says, I never really liked Stafford, but I gave him an opportunity to be the guy, and he just never lived up to the number 1 pick. I was done with him after Calvin left. I think you and a lot of people was done with him when Calvin left. I think it's not just you. I heard the same kind of rumblings. I heard the same rumblings when Stafford was here. Now, this is another one right here. This is going to be crazy. The Detroit Lions, yesterday, this was the tide that changed the game. And here's what everybody wants to focus on. We talked about Jared Goff in the earlier segment. Jared Goff threw an interception, okay? That interception is we want to, okay, it was his fault. Okay, yeah, we can put it in. Say it was his fault. You know it wasn't his fault? The fact that it wasn't an INT, that wasn't his fault. Okay? Did that interception help swing the momentum? Absolutely. But guess what? Guess what broke the game wide open? Jamal Williams' fumble. But let's go back to Jared Goff. Let's go back to the pick. All right? In other years, I would be livid at this point. I have seen enough to know to expect something. The refs have generally this year been on our side when it comes to calls. We even had a few go our way. But the play that changed the momentum of the whole game was the interception by Diggs that shouldn't have been an interception. Okay? Yesterday, an interception was thrown. The score was still 3-6. Interception was thrown by Diggs, and it was ruled an interception. Now, every single turnover or touchdown is reviewed. You cannot challenge whether it was a touchdown or a turnover because they're automatically reviewed. However, I do believe you can challenge the outcome of it after they've determined whether or not it was actually, I'm not sure, because that would mean they would have to go to the replay booth twice in a row. But according to the NFL yesterday, they did not challenge or did not review the play. Now, you heard Tony Romo, Jim Nantz, after especially Tony Romo, he was being super duper biased. Then all of a sudden, it just, like somebody told him to stop, okay? And then it just flipped where he was all on our side. But according to NFL policy, you're supposed to be reviewed, right? Those are supposed to be reviewed. Dan Campbell said that the on-field official told him that the call had been verified, and an NFL spokesman told the Free Press via email the play was reviewed at NFL headquarters in New York. They just said that he had both hands in possession of it, and it had been verified. Now, you and me both, we know that's a known lie. That is the play that shifted the momentum and the play that broke this game wide open is the Jamal Williams fumble. So for me, the Detroit Lions have to be able to overcome such calls because we are not, these games are going to go this way. I have accepted the fact that there is an NFL narrative. I have seen it since the hands to the face, and maybe this isn't the segment for you, but there's 100% NFL narrative. Whenever money is involved, it is a 100%. I have seen for the past 4 years now, or almost 3 years ago, right, is when I came to the conclusion, you know what? The Lions will win when the NFL is ready for us to win. But even with that call, that's not what turned the game. What turned the game is the fumble. That the momentum started to shift, but the game blew open with the Jamal Williams fumble, right? The Lions have to be able, just like every other team in the National Football League, they have to be able to overcome bad calls. Should the Rams in 2018 have gone to the Super Bowl? No, probably not, right? Even with the Dallas Cowboy game, ironically, the wild card game in 2014, we all know we got robbed. But the Lions were up. We were up, man. But momentum is a big thing in the NFL. It's not like the NBA. The NBA, you can be down by 100 points and a run. You can go on a 100-1 run and end the quarter outscoring your opponent. The NBA can flip on a dime. The NFL, not so quickly. I have accepted it, that this is entertainment. And that is that. But the Detroit Lions have to overcome these type of calls. Now, just got a push notification that it is confirmed that Breece Hall did tear his ACL, and he is done. He has a torn ACL and a minor meniscus injury. Wow. He was on my fantasy team. I picked him up, and he was balling for me. I hope that man... Well, he was the first running back taken off the board, right, in last year's draft. And I hope that he recovers, has a speedy recovery. That is tough, man. That's tough. All right, so now let me address some of these comments. JP says the top rookie QBs have more upside than Goff, and it's the only piece missing. It's the only piece missing on O. We will have so much cap for D and other picks. Goff is not under pressure. We need someone that can take off and get a first down with their feet if needed. Well, listen. At this point, y'all can have whatever you want. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not. But I'm over it, man. I'm over it. If you want Bryce Young, fine. If you want CJ Stroud, fine. If you want Matthew Stafford back, fine. I don't care. I don't care if you want him back. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be mean. I've just heard this all before. If we get Bryce Young, fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. I hope he thrives in this league with our team. But my problem, and this is the issue that I have. If we get him, I was told yesterday that we saved $20 million. If we cut Jared Goff with a post-June 1st designation. Okay, first of all, this goes back to the earlier segment. I can't, y'all. I can't right now. The Lions have a chance to win some games. I hate that Bryce Young narrative when our defense can't stop a light breeze. Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, Adrian. Here's what's going to happen. And sometimes I want to detach from social media. Like, I just want to pull back because I feel like Lions fans, they spend their whole life thinking ahead, right? They don't know what they really want. You know what I want? I want to win. I would trade in Bryce Young, Jameson Williams, everybody to be the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, the quarterback that had Trent Dilfer. I would trade in all of that for that. Right? I would trade in everything for a Super Bowl. Other teams, here's you know what? I hate to keep doing this, but I gotta keep bringing this man up. Okay. Here's the issue that I have with this quarterback debate. Jared Goff being the answer is not really a factor. It's really not, right? Because we are always complaining about who's not the answer. You know who went off and got a Super Bowl the next year? Matthew Stafford. I don't understand. I don't. This guy is as stiff as they come. It's Tom Brady and then Matthew Stafford. Maybe Matt Ryan. I just don't understand. Y'all want something exciting. And I'm not yelling at the chat. I'm just frustrated. Because Bryce Young is going to be dynamic just like Malik Willis was going to be. Have you seen Malik Willis with the Titans? What have we done that you think that he is going to change this team? I just truly don't understand what merit has this team given you that Bryce Young is going to change the team. We have none. We have zero. There's zero merit. Justin Fields was the 10th overall pick. Look at him in Chicago. They don't have anybody to throw the ball to. Jared Goff played lights out from game 1 into game 5. Everybody was giving him praise. And now we want Bryce Young to change this team. If you can win with Trent Dilfer, you can win with Jared Goff. Great. Some people want the Madden-type quarterbacks. I agree, but I think it's time to consider all options. If we're picking no QB, he has to be a consideration. I guarantee you that they are considering a quarterback. They absolutely are. I 100% believe that. But you know what bothers me, Zay, is the fact that it's October the 24th. We have 7 months almost exactly until this happens. We still got 11 games to play. What are we talking about if Bryce Young at this point? We don't even know if we're going to pick top 5. And then what's going to happen if we don't? Don't let us start winning games now. Let me ask you a question. Let's talk about it. Let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. Lions win a couple games, and they do what they did in 2019. They pick 8th. Now what we talking about? Now what we talk about. So let me ask y'all a question. The Detroit Lions want to move up. They want to move up. Let's do this draft talk. Let's talk about it. The Detroit Lions move up. They pick 8th. CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are both projected to go before that. Right, it depends on the board. So we'll and Zay, that's another thing too, bro. We doing all of this talk, and nobody could have seen that Trayvon Walker was going to jump up the draft boards and go first. Nobody could have seen that we were going to jump up and Jameson Williams. All it is talk. All it is talk. It is talk until draft night when you hear this sound here. Before that, it's all talk. Before that, it's all talk. You know what we heard? The Detroit Lions have traded with the Minnesota Vikings. And with the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jameson Williams, wide receiver, Alabama. Nobody saw that coming. Why don't we focus on winning games? Now, Jared Goff, we pick 8th. Now. What are we doing now? What are we doing? Are we having the same conversation? The Detroit Lions, when we picked up TJ Hockenson, we were 6-10. A 6-10 record this year might get us, we might not even pick in the top 10. We might not even pick in the top 10 with a 6-10 record. The NFL is that bad. Even Tom Brady said it's a lot of bad football, and he lost yesterday. Zay says, I'm more interested in free agents if we can pick up that we can actually make more of an impact on the defense because that's what we need. Okay, so listen. Jared Goff is still on the books. The Lions would have to get rid of him. He can't decide to leave. So, Lions pick 8th, where TJ Hockenson was drafted. We throw Jared Goff in the package. We move up to get Bryce Young. Okay, let's take Jared Goff out the equation. So let's say Lions pick 8th. I'm just doing this for entertainment purposes. Lions pick 8th because I want to see what y'all say. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Lions pick 8th, right? Let's say, for saying's sake, since everybody wants to talk about the draft, and no, I'm not talking about y'all in the chat, but all of the Lions fans, YouTubers have checked out, and they're talking about the draft. The Lions pick 8th. Let's do this for fun. Let's do this for fun, since everybody wants to talk about the draft when we got 11 games to play. So let's do it. Let's talk about the draft. All right. The Lions win 6 games this year. They pick 8th. According to Tankathon, CJ Stroud is coming off number 1. Will Anderson, number 2. Bryce Young, number 3. Panthers need a quarterback. Yeah, they'll take one. We already talked about that. Now, we're picking 8th. What do we do? What do we do? No, Adrian. No, man. Adrian says if we pick 8th, take the best defensive player there still. What are we doing for quarterback? Will Levis coming off 6th. Yep, he coming off 6th. So let's say the Lions, because we still got to play, y'all. And believe me, the Lions ain't about to lay down. These grown men who get hit for a living are not going to go out there and lose on purpose. They still got some fight in them, and they will win more than one game. Matt Patricia days, his second year, we went 3-12-1. We picked 3rd. We could go 6-11. We could pick 8th. Will Levis, Bryce Young, and C.J. Stroud are all off the board. Bryce Young is 6 foot, 195. C.J. Stroud is 6'3", 215. Will Levis 6'3", 232. So what do y'all do? It got kind of sticky, huh? The best defensive player at that point, Myles Murphy, on the board. He comes off to the Chicago Bears. Here's my point. The quarterback class was weak last year. Maybe that's why the Detroit Lions did not draft a single quarterback. Do they do that this year? I'm going to side with maybe no. Maybe no. But we don't know. We don't know. And if we win games, all three of those quarterbacks who are projected to go before we pick, right? Because I promise you we win more than one game. We had 3 wins and we had the number 1 pick. So 3 wins, y'all can still get what y'all want. When I say y'all, I'm talking about the people who obviously want a quarterback. You know what I want to do? I want to win. That's all I want. To be honest, that's all I want. And I want to do whatever it takes to win. If winning is a quarterback, fine. But I've seen this. Joey Harrington, Matthew Stafford. I've seen this. I want to win. And whatever needs to happen for us to win, if it's Bryce Young, it's Bryce Young. If it's CJ Stroud, it's CJ Stroud. If it's a dog, it's a dog. We need to win games. You know what we need? We need another wide receiver because DJ Chark ain't it. I want to do whatever it takes to win. Speaking of DJ Chark. DJ Chark came out Saturday night that he was placed on IR. Now, I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial. We don't have to talk about the draft, but it's absolutely a must to draft a QB. I don't disagree with the fact that we need a QB. I also don't agree with this QB should be thrown out to the Wolves because you better believe that's what the Lions are going to be, the Wolves. Now, we have picked in the top 10 5 years in a row. Let's go over it, shall we? TJ Hawkinson, number 8. Jeff Okudah, number 3. Penei Sewell, number 7. Aiden Hutchinson, number 2. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, number 1. That's what we're doing. I want to win games. That's what I want to do. Zay says we need a jump ball, deep threat guy to add in the middle rounds. But let's talk about it, man. Do you guys think that it's time to move on from DeAndre Swift? Because it's tough. I saw a tweet today saying that somebody compared him to Dalvin Cook. No, it was a comment. A Vikings fan commented on the video. Yes, he is under contract. Adrian says 100%. Nate says yes. I think Javid Best was better than DeAndre Swift. Is better. Well, was. DJ Chark is on IR. He's going to miss 4 games minimum. And I saw, I think it was on Motor City Sports Talks, his community post that said that Swift is the king of street clothes in Detroit. If I had to pick a guy to trade, I would trade DeAndre Swift before I traded TJ Hawkinson. Well, it says that Bryce Young, that's what I read. That's exactly what I read. Rod. I said that before you got here. I said it. Bryce Young, 6 foot. That's what I literally just said that. Mr. Poole says, I don't think they get rid of Swift. No, we're not. We're not. All of the staffers, all of the offensive staff, and Brad have said Swift is a key part of their offense. Mr. Poole, but he got to play. He has to play. He has to play. If he doesn't, what good does he do? Let me ask y'all a question. Swift is like the Kawhi Leonard of the NFL, never healthy or plays majority of games. Let me ask y'all a question. DeAndre Swift. Now, it's hard to be critical of these guys. You got grown men who are defenders, who are typically heavy guys, landing on you at full speed. So I get it. I don't want to be overly critical. However, that's the nature of the business. If you can't stay healthy, then you're no good. Do you believe when DeAndre Swift comes back, he will finish the season? Give me a yes or no in the chat. We have 11 games left. When DeAndre Swift comes back, do you believe he will finish the season? Nate says no. I don't think he finishes either. And at this point, what are we doing? Zay says he's literally a top 6 back when he's out there, but that's the problem. He never plays that much. And that's a problem, Zay. Kerryon Johnson is no longer in the league. Now, I think Kerryon Johnson's work ethic is why he's not in the league. If I'm not mistaken, Kerryon Johnson, because somebody tell me, was drafted the same year that Amani was, if I'm not mistaken, because I think this is Amani's 5th year. No, he'll be done by half his first games back. How many defensive players were taken since Brad Holmes arrived? I got to look, Billy. I got to look. He took 6 last year. I know that for a fact. Nate says at this point, you better off making him a slot gadget guy and draft a back in the later round. I don't think he stays healthy either. I don't think he finishes. Let's see. And I know everybody love him. Everybody want to see him. Hard Knocks. Everybody wants to see that. I don't want to see anybody on my team fail. Like, I want everybody to succeed. But you got to play. You got to play. He was a late scratch Saturday night. Let's see how many games DeAndre Swift has played in his short career. Because I don't think it's been a ton. How many games have DeAndre Swift played in his career? Let's see. Because he has not finished the season. Now, remember, y'all, and like I said, I don't want to be that guy. It's like I don't want to see this guy not succeed. However, Kerryon Johnson was trending this way as well. It was trending where he didn't finish the season because Kerryon Johnson never played. He didn't, did he? I don't think he might have. I got to look at his stats and see. Okay, Zay says he only plays like 13 games a year, maybe 12. What's up, E? Says he's getting hurt while sharing carries with Jamal. Imagine him getting all the carries. See, that was the thing. When he came out of college, compared to Kerryon's workload, it paled in comparison. And we're like, well, maybe he could be fresh. But here's the thing. Now we might be saying that he can't take a heavy workload. And if you in the NFL, you got to be able to, if you're a running back, man, you got to be able to take a heavy workload. You got to have and we got a Kareem Hunt to a Nick Chubb. Jamal Williams, throughout yesterday, every time he runs hard and he gets some yards. It might be time to move on. Y'all ready to move on from Jared Goff, but DeAndre Swift can't do anything if he's not in. He's played 3 games this year. We've played 6. So he's already, I think Kerryon might have played every game his last year. Y'all remember when Kerryon his last year with us when we had Adrian Peterson and Kerryon came in for that drive and was beast. Dude was running down people's throats. He was running like he knew, like he had something to prove and ran that thing down people's throat. I remember that end zone run. He scored a touchdown and ran over probably 7 people. What's up, Lions Mania? It might be time. It might be time to draft another running back. But DeAndre Swift was a parting gift, him and Jeff Okudah from Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn's last year. So, it's a lot of positives to take from yesterday. The defense played better than we really held the Dallas Cowboys to 10 points. We really did. I mean, if you want to be extra critical, we held them to 6 or 3. You know what I'm saying? Then Jamal or whatever. I think Jamal, they were already up 10-6 so we gave him 10 points. Jared Goff, 2 fumbles. They scored 14 points in the last 3 minutes. Zay says, read last. Look at all these backs coming in, making crazy impact. Brees, Damian Harris, K9, yeah. And that's only this season. That's true. But then look at the flip side. Dobbins is out. And Swift came out with them. In my opinion, it's like a toss-up between him and Dobbins. You had Clyde. No, who was it? It was Taylor. Man, because wasn't Swift the second running back taken? I want to say he was. He was either the second or third. But either way, him and Dobbins are probably the weakest 2 out the bunch. Okay, why did Campbell hesitate to throw the challenge flag? Okay, Lions Mania. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. I don't know I don't really know if you can challenge. I believe you can. I believe it goes like this. A turnover or touchdown cannot be challenged. It's automatically reviewed. However, if I am not mistaken, you can challenge the outcome of the result. So why he did it? No, it's all good, bro. I was just saying we talked about it. So I'm not sure if that's the case. I believe it is. But according to Dan Campbell, he said that he was told that it was a touchdown from New York. Comes out, DK Metcalf will not need surgery. Man, but there is no return date. A lot of injuries. And this is why I think that the Lions, that I want to stay in the season. I hate to see dudes get hurt, but we got a lot of football left, y'all. We got a lot of, and we can't say that the defense made a colossal improvement. Aiden Hutchinson, please stand up. Why didn't they do that earlier? Maybe we win another game or 2. Hey, yes, Mr. Poole, that's all facts. All facts. I don't think it's time to crown. I saw people on Twitter ready to be like, hey man, so how about them second round picks now, them second round busts? Let the brother play. He played 1 game. Let him play. What's up, same-o? I'm happy that the Denver Broncos are arguably a bigger dumpster fire than the Lions are. Man. Hey, same-o, do you get to watch Lions games? Or you have to do something else? Yes. Pascal played really good. Yeah, we can end the show with that. So let me do this. All right. So to end the show on a positive note, I'm not saying I'm being negative. I think sometimes Lions fans, they don't want to hear real. They take real as negative because people would like to stay. They like to bathe in the Kool-Aid. And I think that if they want to do that, that's fine. But that's not the way I choose to live my life. I'm not bathing in the Kool-Aid. I drink it. I chug it. I sip it. I want to throw it out. I flush it. But I don't bathe in it. Aiden Hutchinson they gave him 1.5 sacks. I think they gave Alex Anzalone the other half. So he has not 5, he has 4.5. Everybody, and see, okay, this is what I be saying about Lions fans. The positive. Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Pascal, Jeffrey Okudah played very well yesterday. You know how many tackles he had? 15. 15 tackles. Now, that says a lot about our linebackers. He had 15 tackles. He had 12 of them by himself. He actually saved probably 2 or 3 touchdowns. Now, I'm not ready to crown him 3rd overall pick worthy, but he's playing very well. And I don't know you know what? I believe Jeff Okudah can live up to being the 3rd overall pick. Same old says, wow, really? That's dedication, man. That's actually a smart idea. Let them pay for it. So our defense did something that we haven't done literally all game. Yesterday was our lowest scoring game as far as of the season that we let. And our defense now overall has allowed less points. Now, yeah. And you take away the 2 points at the 2 scores under 3 minutes. These guys were at 10 points. It ain't like the Cowboys dominated us. Everything down the line was equal, so let's do this. Y'all want to hear a positive note. Now, I don't want to hear me. I'm on the Kool-Aid and I'm not being realistic. I think I'm being very realistic because I'm just going by the numbers. I'm going by what the numbers tell me, right? Numbers don't lie. Numbers tell us that the Lions defense is bad, right? Numbers tell us that the Lions defense over the past 2 games has gotten better, right? Maybe not a lot better, but better. Yesterday, numbers tell me that they hung with the Dallas Cowboys. Jared Goff's fumble or interception, okay. Jamal Williams, that was the killer. That was the killer. Okay? And nobody is more upset than Jamal Williams. I didn't see Dan Campbell slam his headset, but he slammed it yesterday after the fumble. Jamal is a likable man. Hey, Mr. Poole, man, what a hit, bro. Big hit. I showed it on the replay yesterday. My man's head was literally 2 inches from hitting the field. He did a complete flip. It was amazing. Not too happy about Dan Campbell's play calling at the end. You had a couple timeouts. Try to get 6 on the board. Go up, you know what I'm saying? Go up 9-3. Maybe the game goes different. I'm not going to really come at Dan for that. But yesterday was a bright spot, all right? Dan slammed his headset because he couldn't hear upstairs on if the NFL should challenge. Nate says, yesterday gave me hope that 7 wins is still a thing. How long did it take to have this channel? Yeah, so Lions, okay, Lions Mania. I'll come back to that, bro. But the bright spots on the team is this. The defense played better the last 2 games than they played the first 4. I truly believe that we have seen, we will see Aiden Hutchinson standing up. He will also be in the 3-point stance, but he's going to spend most of his time in the 2. And he was playing better yesterday. Exactly, Zay. Those empty calorie touchdowns were meaningless. If you look at the stats from yesterday, Adrian, he came from the USFL. That guy came from the USFL. He might actually secure a spot in the NFL. But if you look at we went over it in the postgame. The game was equal. Almost from top to bottom, time of possession, yards. It was the turnovers that killed us. And when those 2 extra touchdowns essentially came off turnovers, right? The positive, Jeff Okudah, Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Pascal, the defense overall, allowing really, I'm going to call it 10 points. I'm going to say they allowed 10. I mean, I'm watching this defensive performance. I'm like, who are these guys? Where did they come from? And where have they been? So maybe it's not time to throw Aaron Glenn in the toilet. Maybe it's not time to give up on the season. Now, I will say this, and we'll wrap up the show. I got to go pick up my kid. The Lions, we're going to close the show like we ended it. Back in 2017, I believe it was, Jim Caldwell, second to last year, the Lions went 1-7 to start the season, 6-2 to end it. It ain't over. We got time. The last 2 games, and I'm trying to fill you with fluffy hope. I'm not. I'm just going by the numbers. You know who's beatable? The Miami Dolphins. They are at the crib. We gonna get them a tough time. We have not played in front of at Ford Field in 3 weeks. We have not won in a month and a half by the time we play the Dolphins. They're going to give the Dolphins all they can handle. We got to watch out for Tyreek Hill, Mozart. We got to watch out for Jalen Waddle. But they weren't balling out of control yesterday. All right? I'm not saying we're going to win. I'm saying we can. Our next 2 games are at home. You know who else is not great? Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers have 4 losses in 7 games. All right? Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur has lost as many games this year as he did all of last year. Matt LaFleur's first 3 seasons, 13-3, 13-3, 13-4, courtesy our Detroit Lions. The last time we played them at the crib, we won. And that is a team, this is a team that does not have Devontae Adams. So what I'm saying is that we still have time. Where we will end, I don't know. Where this train will end, and then we will have all the time we want to talk about the NFL draft. But right now, the Detroit Lions are focused on the Miami Dolphins and homecoming. We should be too. They got our next 3 games. The Dolphins at home, the Packers at home, the Bears on the road. This season is full of parity. It's not over. However, they have to win. And I'm going to say something bold. Even if the Lions lose this Sunday, it still ain't over. Packers could be 3-5. It's going to be close. It's going to be tough. But remember, Vegas only gave us 6.5 wins, so it ain't over yet. All right, now let me answer a couple questions, and then we'll wrap up the show because I got to go get this little boy. All right, so Lions, to answer your question, I created this channel to go live on. We're going to do daily shows. This is no knock to Woodward Sports, but what they're doing, I've always wanted to do. When I first got in this space, this is what I wanted to do. But, you know, you're on YouTube and things are changing and you follow this and this works and then this doesn't. And then I got away from what the core of my channel was supposed to be. I started streaming games on Gridiron and messed it all up, and now that's all that is. Started Detroit Lions Syndicate, but you got to play a couple games with YouTube. You have to have, like, YouTube is not just about you make videos. You have to play, it's a strategy. So if I live stream too much, I can ruin the channel. If I don't live stream at all, I don't have a live stream presence. So what I decided to do was I started, it's more of a network. No, not really. They're pretty much, I don't really know what they are, but all I know is what they're doing is what I've always wanted to do. That's literally, when I came on YouTube, I was sitting at my dining room table and I was having 30-minute shows. So this right here is me doing something I should have done a long time ago. So the goal is to have Pistons people, Red Wings people, stuff like that. Eventually, I want a studio. Might start in the basement, but eventually move to a studio. I've been talking to people about it. So what they're doing is what I've always wanted to do. So we'll see how that goes. But what we're going to do is Monday through Friday, we're going to talk on this channel, be about an hour long, probably have segments, things like that. I'll be bringing in guests eventually. We will have phone calls. I just got to figure out how to screen the phone callers, because we had a dude yesterday on Syndicate, and a young kid came in and said some derogatory things. I couldn't hang up on him soon enough, so I will have to start screening my callers, but we're going to have a good time. All right, somebody asked something about the trade deadline. I don't think we're going to make a move, Lions. I don't think we're going to do it. Same old says, I think we end up 4-2 in our division this year. So I'm guessing we sweep the Bears, we split with the... Wait, that means we have to sweep 2 teams, right? Or sweep the Bears and we split with the Vikings, and that's what you're saying? By the way, the Wings won last night. So what are they? Yeah, I'm not a fan of them. They're all right, better than 97 won a ticket. See, Lions Mania, I don't know, bro. I don't know because I don't know. Lions, okay, Mike Valenti, he still has the radio protecting people from him. The fact that the FCC will find him if they do certain things. But Adam be on a whole nother level. Thank you, JP. It will, bro, because I don't mean to brag, but everything that I do on YouTube that I really put my mind to is successful. I have 30,000. I have 6,000. Thank you guys for Syndicate. We just hit 6,000. I have this channel as well. It will work. It's going to be in the vein of live streams, and then these videos will get chopped up into these live streams will get chopped up. And also, I have a team. The Syndicate will be a year old this Thursday. I'm excited. We have 4 channels. 2 of them are monetized. One of them is soon to be. The other one just hit 500. And we have our 5th channel launching November the 7th. So I'm very excited and, trying to build something, man. So I appreciate it. They should have challenged the Brock Wright play, if he scored or not. Could have gotten closer spot, but they end up running. So here's the thing, Ken. I hear you, but that next play was a Jamal Williams fumble. You know what I mean? Why waste the time out if you lose for a half a yard when you got Jamal Run the Rock Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that was the right move. I'm not offended at that. But anyway, I got to go pick up my kid. Virtual schooling. He's got a test. Had to go in person. I will see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you so much. Have a great day.